So perfect, okay?
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay. We'll discuss today, like I started before, about artificial intelligence, empowering ESG, corporate risk management in compliance, navigating risks and opportunity. Also, in this opportunity, I think it's important, especially to discuss about this. I have 20 years of experience in corporate area. My last 12 years in corporate governance, risks, and in compliance. Also, I have a academic background. Also, I'm executive, and also I have an academic background. I'm a professor in a postgraduations and MBAs. Also, I had books, co-author and a coordinator, a lot of books about corporate governance, risks, and compliance in ESG with a lot of editors. Also, like uh, Thomson Reuters and others. And I am a co-founder and CEO. The nonprofit group, the name is Compliance Women Committee, is a group of executive women that works in compliance, corporate governance, risks, with a lot of chapters in Brazil, but in Europe, in UK, Portugal, Germany, in Africa, in Latin America, especially now in Colombia. It's a great to have the possibility to visit our LinkedIn page. You have a possibility, it's no profit group. You have a possibility to enter, maybe have interest. Um, and also, I want to start my discussion today about to think about how artificial intelligence start. I think that maybe some all people know this person and this man, Alan Turing. Alan Turing is the father of the computing. Is the first significant work that sphere artificial intelligence occurred in 12th century with the Turing machine. Turing was a mathematician and already observed that the intelligence of the future would defeat a machine that would be able to learn from experience. And this principle was based on the modern theory of the computing. I think this is first step that all things start about the subject. And because Turing created the future, now if it was this, if it, well, we stay here to discuss about this is because Turing started the part of the machine learning and discuss about the future of machine. And in this norte, that special artificial intelligence recognized the public in the public United States in the middle of 1956 in the context of machine learning, especially. The research entered to be continued, but was from 1990 that technological advances progress exponentially until the present day. And all day by day, the part of machine learning grow and the digital grow and much more now the last years, especially before pandemic, because all people stay at home with needing the digital all the time. The part of the artificial intelligence grow much more and the all digital transformation in the world. One important is important when you discuss about um, this topic and have a great principle that sometimes the people don't have knowledge about this, about the precautionary principle is interesting because they have a highlight of the I highlight the relevance of the precautionary principle, a principle that originates in environmental law in the middle 1970 and has the power to bring a mitigation measures in the face of the threat of damage considered serious irreversible. In addition, the principle can be applied through a risk analysis in order to understand the possibility of the damage. But the most important thing is what this principle have a relationship with AI. Because of this, because together with the concept of the human right existence, ensuring the integrity. And with this vision, you need to use, we need to use AI because we need to use the integration of the AI with the protection human existence and integrity. And we discuss about this is very important. In my opinion, the most important AI involve all the time in knowledge of the humans. And because of this, this principle is very important when we discuss about AI, which is considered the analysis of the future of the risk arising from human endeavors. This is this important principle that you need to fix when you discuss AI. When I studied or I look at other events, sometimes the people didn't put the focus in this principle, but this is the base. It's very important, like integrity, ethics, and others. But when you discuss about this base for two-step, this introduction, uh, today we will explore more about this, about artificial intelligence, the generative artificial intelligence in transforming corporate governance, risk management, and compliance. Companies around the world are adopting this technology to improve efficiency and make more informed decisions. Our focus today will be to discuss the challenge and the opportunities and the future trends of this digital revolution. We will start about AI in ESG in this case. But before, I would like to share a little bit numbers for you. For example, the adoption that artificial intelligence in a risk analysis has grown by 45% in the last 3 years. This is a study of the Harvard Law School that the people published in in the beginning of the January. And because of this, it's very important. All professionals in compliance to risks deeply to understand about the future, about the AI inside of the process. Other numbers very important to share. The World Economic Forum estimates that more than 80% of leading global companies already use artificial intelligence to strengthen their ESG policies. Because of this, we will start the role about AI and ESG. In the first point here is important to share that generative AI is becoming an essential tool for ESG, especially because of the data. Have a lot of data to management data, do transparency of the data, enable deeper and more automated analysis for a critical data. And we need to understand that we have a lot of process that have this type of impact. For example, analyzing carbon emissions, track a sustainable supply chains, and ensuring compliance environmental regulations like CSRD, CSDDD, and European Union especially. But I know have all the regulations around the world in other countries in UK, in Asia, in other countries about sustainable and ESG. Also, we need to discuss what was the most important items to the topics to discuss about this. And ESG in digital transformation. ESG is an enabler. Artificial intelligence is an increasingly central role in ESG strategies at the moment, especially for automation and predictive analysis, enhancing governance and monitoring environmental, social, and governance factors. It offers new opportunities for data collection, analysis, and reporting. Remember, we need to manage a lot of topics for the CSRD, especially reporting with lot of KPIs for this. The companies need to create a lot of KPIs about ESG at the moment. And other point is very important, is the accuracy and efficiency in data management, enabling the better understanding and mitigation of environmental and social impacts. When you have more efficient to understand your data, your KPIs, you have a possibility to mitigate your risks also. And AI can process the large volumes of data, identify risk patterns, and provide us actionable insights for business in minutes. This is so important. At the moment, the world, all things in the world is very quickly. We need to make quick decisions and to think about this. And AI help a lot of with this point. Growth of AI solutions for ESG. The market for ESG drive ESG technologies and product has been expanding rapidly and is quickly because it's very necessary for especially the company. So in this case, automation efficiency in the collection and analysis of ESG data. AI applied to environmental, social, and sustainability in monitoring and predictive detection of the environmental risks, for example, especially. Other point is very important, this point. The trend is expected to continue in 2025, aligned with evolving regulatory and corporate demands. All the time, we need to grow about the sustainability topics inside of the process in the strategy inside the company. We need to grow and evolve regulatory requirements. We need to grow a robust process with more controls and understand the gaps and vulnerabilities about this. And regulation increase in adoption, like I told for you. And ESG sustainability reporting is becoming increasingly mandatory, like CSRD, CSDDD, and others, sustainable reports that exist inside of the companies at the moment. And important is interesting because for smaller companies, medium companies within the corporate supply chains, we also need to adopt AI tools to ensure structure and enable and data collection. Why? Because sometimes have a lot of suppliers. We need to manage this. In this case, use this all these most important topics that I share now about ESG. This is I identify in the study with my experience, but have a knowledge basis with Harvard Law School. This is interesting because all things that I share with you today, I have my experience like executive, but at the same time, I have my studies about this. All because of this, you need all vision about the numbers at the moment and all in the benchmarking, in the vision of the market at the moment with these topics. Also, we have other challenge about for ESG perspective. If this point is so crucial and relevant. Energy consumption, artificial intelligence and system require significant energy to develop and operate. This is true. This is a point we need to pay attention. Algorithmic bias, risk of perpetuating inequalities and discrimination. We need to take care about this. At the moment, all world discuss about discrimination, diversity, inclusion. The inclusion, diversity sometimes at the moment is a lawyer topic, not my growth topic. We worried about this. Data privacy concerns regarding the use and the protection of sensitive information. This is the very challenge point because we need regulations like GDPR, data protection regulations. A lot of countries, you need to create a use AI, but we need to concerns and we need to take care about data privacy. As regulatory requirements involve company must implement AI governance to ensure compliance. The European Union AI Act that approved in December 2023, but come effect in August in 2024, introduces the restrictions and prohibitions on the certain AI applications. New regulatory frameworks about this, information reliability to need for output, validation, avoid distortion, misleading interpretations. This is the very important misleading interpretation. You need to take care when you use, for example, ChatGPT for information management, create something or use this type of the AI inside of the company. You need to take care about. We need you to a human knowledge about this all the time. Because of this, I confirm with you about the principle about the use the human knowledge with AI together. This is a great process to create and use AI especially in corporate governance, compliance, in risks and ESG process. AI governance and transparency, companies should establish a clear policies, frameworks for AI usage. Engaging with stakeholders will be crucial building trusting and ensuring transparent AI driving ESG initiatives. One part is important about this, that artificial intelligence is playing critical role for the collection analysis of sustainable companies. That companies are using AI to analyze their carbon emissions track and supply chain, and the OECD points out that companies that use AI for ESG can reduce the time needs for environmental audits by 30%. The other company have other cases, for example, that use the AI to predict climate impacts and adjust the supply chains. Other digital company implement AI to reduce its carbon footprint and optimize the energy use in data centers, for example. And this is an example for you of the cases that I use implementing ESG with the vision about AI. Other points is very important in this case. Environmental impact monitoring. We have a possibility to monitoring carbon emissions and other things. You need to identify use for diversity inside of the company. You take care about this, the regulation for the use about this, but have a lot of opportunities to use AI and ESG inside of the company, especially for management. A lot of indicators, the development of data is very important. Have a lot of tools at the moment to management this. I know, for example, companies like Vale is a big environmental company in global company, or other big companies that started to use about this because it's much more for optimizing the process, is much more efficiency. The other topic about they propose to discuss today is about AI and corporate risk management. Like ESG is most important to discuss because the next generation of the artificial intelligence will be a guide, guided by ethics, transparency, and global regulation and risk. And that adopt AI responsibility will be that the forefront of innovation. The technology such as blockchain must also play a crucial role in compliance, insurance, traceability, and security, and the vision about the risks. Because of this, this is very important topic, and especially in corporate risk management, especially because AI role is a financial crisis prediction. We have a possibility to mitigate the fraud risks, for example, the continuous monitoring operational risks and other strategic risks, underwriting risks, for example, insurance companies that have a lot of impact at the moment with climate change, and you have to monitoring the underwriting risk, the most important risk in insurance companies. You have a possibility to monitoring, and we have a possibility to create a process in AI models for fraud detection in cybersecurity threats. Cybersecurity threats is a great challenge of the companies at the moment, especially with new digital transformation globally. And we need to use much more automatic. And for auditing, especially, you have a possibility to create a process, automatic process, and use AI, artificial intelligence, to review, for example, contractors or identify compliance risks or mitigate a risk, for example, the double payments inside of your process. In other cases, have a possibility to create automatization in your AI in auditing. In this case, it's very important to give an example like I put in my screen now, in my slide. Can I predict a final crisis and mitigate operational risks before they escalate? The bank sector, for example, uses AI to detect fraud in real-time transactions, reducing $1 billion losses annually. This is amazing because I have a possibility, have a lot of transactions. At the moment, in a minute, have a lot of millions of transactions in the road. You have a possibility to detect fraud in real time, to create an alert for in your tool. Have a great framework in OECD, AI risk framework in risk assessment questionnaire. Very interesting you to know more about. And other topics about this that when you focus, for example, only risk and prevention and mitigation, the predictive models based on machine learning can anticipate final crisis reputation risks also. AI improves the identification of emerging risks and enhance organizational resilience. Fraud risks detection and financial compliance. AI can analyze financial transactions in real time and identify suspicion activity and present fraud. Application continued auditing automation, right? You have a possibility to use algorithmic bias. Model can reinforce discriminatory pattern and order and mitigate cyber risks, especially deep fakes, automated fraud. And because of this, you have a possibility to create a lot of things. When you think especially about to discuss and the vision about risks and create, for example, a lot of possibilities with use AI monitoring your risks. I need to monitor my market risk, my credit risk, my liquidity risk. I create alerts. I create a specific alert when you, for example, have a limit of the financial impact in my company. You create a alert when you specifically process, grow and find this topic of my financial limit, for example. You have a possibility to create a lot of alerts in for you and your team monitoring. Have a possibility to monitor this much better. Now we have a possibility to discuss a little bit more about compliance, regulation in artificial intelligence era. Compliance and regulation artificial intelligence intelligence era. We need to discuss about GDPR, AI Act for European Union, have SEC regulations also, and we need to most important thing here that we need for transparency in algorithms to ensure regulatory compliance because this is most important thing to create all process in AI totally transparency with in agreement with regulatory is very important. The global regulations are becoming stricter, demanding a greater transparency in AI usage. The European Union AI Act sets specific rules for high risk in AI, while the new OECD framework enables companies to voluntarily demonstrate their commitment to responsible practice. Some companies establish internal artificial intelligence governance committees to monitor risks and ensure compliance with the emerging regulations. I think the most important thing to think about this, you have a possibility to adopt the code of conduct in voluntary AI reporting. Probably this is the future. You have AI reporting for compliance and transparent accountability. Challenge and the opportunities of the new OECD framework because it's a very important topic for OECD at the moment because all company use, we need to trust to the numbers of the companies, trust in the processing the informations. Because of this, you need to create a huge and ethical and a transparent and accountability process when you use AI. Other point is very important. AI and governance in digital ethics. And in this case, the implementation of responsibility AI principles to prevent privacy breaches and data manipulation. This is, I think, that I worried because we need to take care about this. We need to create a AI governance and digital ethics with a policy, with a strong control in this case, because we have here reputation, a high reputation risk. This is a correct word, high reputation risk. Another, we have a proactive regulation. Company must anticipate standards and adjust their practice before new rules are imposed. This is very important. We need to create a proactive action all the time. GDPR regulates data protection in the European Union, directly affecting the use of AI, the data process personal information. We need to take care about this, create a control, like I told for you. AI Act, the European proposal to categorize to regulation AI system based on the risk levels, have a lot of sanctions and for the companies that don't observe the regulation in the European Union about the use of the AI. And have other like the Brazilian law, very close to GDPR. The only example, the other country with guidelines to process data and impact to develop the implication of AI. Especially about the AI Act. and they classifies the 16 AI systems, the artificial intelligence system, according to the years of the level of risk in imposing different obligations of each categories. For example, we have, for example, risk range from minimal or no risk, limited risk, high risk, until an acceptable risk. We need the categories in the regulation. They are AI Act in European Union. As for sanctions for violations of the European Union's artificial intelligence regulation, they will determine as a percentage according to the value of an organization business. 35 million euros or 7% in the case of breach of prohibited artificial intelligence applicants, 15 millions of euros or 3% in the case of breach of the obligations in the Artificial Intelligence Act, and 7.5 million euros or 1.5% in the case of the incorrect applications in the use of artificial intelligence. We need to take care because we have high sanctions. In this case, we need to observe the regulation. These are one example. We have other countries that discuss about the regulations about the use of the artificial intelligence. We need to all the time to understand how is the impact depend of the country. Other point is very important to discuss is artificial intelligence governance in digital, with the ethics vision, ensure transparency in the trustworthiness. Ethical principles need to develop and implement AI responsibly. Ensuring fairness, transparency, and accountability. Corporate governance, establishing frameworks and policies to oversee the ethical use of AI in organizations. We need all the time understand that we have a lot of impact. Artificial intelligence in a governance must address ethical challenges by ensuring that technology and develop it and use it with responsibility. Other part, this is a vision with the ethics and integrity. In this case, the far of the use of the artificial intelligence has been put on the agenda, but proposed the most be basis in the ethics and integrity as a fundamental principles. In addition, the transparent becomes a crucial issue in its use. In the view of this, the organization with the perspective of the analysis of the corporate governance risk management regulation in compliance need to be self-regulated and their effective use. With this self-regulate, we need to create policies, we need to create a process, especially policies to understand how is possible to use inside of the company, how is possible to use with ethical, but at the same time observe the ethics and integrity principles. This is very important. Along these lines, it is known that it is imperative to monitor of the use of technologies in line with foundations for the development of an internal control for the appropriate use. Okay. And we need to use, of course, with more responsibility, but we need to use. I'm a person that I defend. We need to use artificial intelligence. This is the future of our area for GRC professionals, for ESG professionals. It's very important. It's mandatory because the future is a global future. In the moment, the digital transformation, we need to create a new process, not only manual process, but digital in transformation process. The future now this is we to share about the future of artificial intelligence in ESG risks and compliance together vision. The most important topics about this I put here. Artificial intelligence in blockchain and corporate compliance. This is the future. You know, when you use the blockchain in the future, you need to prepare about this because it's very important. Implement responsible AI strategies, but use the blockchain in corporate compliance. Expansion the conduct in voluntary frameworks, the impact of the OECD framework on the market, and the future of artificial intelligence governance will be shaped by transparency and global regulation. Companies that adopt voluntary standards like the uh, Hague Code of the Conduct will be led the market to ensure responsible innovation in compliance with the future regulatory requirements. We need to this. We have a lot of tools at the moment. For example, I had experience in a company that I use, for example, ChatGPT, a corporate ChatGPT, and it helped a lot for you, for example, to create some things, to much more quickly, to review something. You have a possibility to create a new process with much more efficiency. And because of this, generative AI is a revolution the way companies deal with ESG risks and compliance. It is a potential in immense opportunities, but it must be important to share that we need to define this with ethical principles, especially. About numbers, I think the people that understand what the impact in the numbers. With regard to financial issues in 2010, look at this, now it's 2025. Many years ago, the subject was important. Imagine now, before pandemic, with the globally many things changed. In 2018, a McKinsey survey predicted that the adoption of the artificial intelligence could increase a global GDP by up to $13 trillion by 2030, which would correspond to 1.2% of the global GDP. This is a huge number. You need to think about this. When you sometimes you need to share about our director, CEO, or you have this position for to discuss the board of directors, share these numbers. Because for use the artificial intelligence inside of the company, we need to budget for the areas and investments about this. But is the future for the companies. I know that, for example, areas like compliance, corporate governance, risks, and ESG normally also is not sometimes a core areas, is a back office areas and sometimes don't have the great investments, but we needed these investments for the future. We need to investment because these areas are responsible for to mitigate risks, for to create a value for the company, for to mitigate a lot of type of the risks, and create a protection of the company. And this most important, use all process in create more efficient with AI. In this case, with AI, probably will create much more value in your area. And the people probably will see your area in this process totally different. This is a research of the KPMG with the University of Queensland from Australia. is interesting because I like this part of the research, the global study, and for 2023. This figure is very interesting because trust in AI system across the countries. Look at this. Normally, emerging countries, developing countries is the most important that uh, believing in AI, look like India, China, Brazil, South Africa, after Singapore, Germany, Israel, South Korea, after United States, Estonia, Netherlands, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, Japan, France, and Finland. Look, this is very important. Of course, grow because it's two years ago. But all the time we need to think about this. You sometimes I observe that the companies start day by day to use inner process, especially corporate governance risks and compliance about the artificial intelligence. But at the moment, it's must have you need to use is the future for you need to improve your knowledge about artificial intelligence. You need to create a process, use Scrum, understand about this bit more because you need knowledge you choose your right tool, choose and create a process with the artificial intelligence vision. This is the future. It probably you have a possibility to monitor your company with a more efficient team, with much more results, amazing KPIs, dashboard, Power BIs with numbers that automatically change day by day, and probably the board of directors, the and all director committee, the look in your area, look the corporate governance and compliances of the company with other vision, with the future vision. Because when you use artificial intelligence, you have a possibility the protect your company because you have a prediction vision. You have a possibility to create the future, understand the impact, the risk impact in the future, with statistics analysis in process like this. Um, Other important thing to share about other number from report from McKinsey that that share that the adoption of the AI in the regulatory sector has been grown by 45% in the last 3 years, reflecting the need for smarter and more efficient solutions. Other case, we have other for a big four company at PwC, 75% of the publicly traded companies are investing in artificial trading companies, investing in artificial intelligence to improve ESG and compliance. Other research companies that use artificial intelligence for risk analysis can reduce internal audit internal audit time to analyze the process in 30%. These have a lot of elements that have a lot of benefits to use in predict risks and to mitigate risks and others. And because of this, we need all the time to use the data, to use artificial intelligence in a lot of industries, for example, financial services, reduce fraud risks. You have all the time control about the frauds and have a lot of benefits about it. We need to take care, but you have a possibility to use. For example, Digital companies, for example, like Amazon and others, use identify automatic selections, use AI for a lot of things. This is a great case. They use the artificial intelligence in Amsterdam that the algorithmic project in Amsterdam, in Netherlands, that the government use the AI in machine learning, and the people have a possibility to understand the numbers of the city in day by day with totally transparent with algorithm. It's amazing because of they use AI, have a possibility the people understand the impact of the company, of the city by government in day by day. A little bit share my conclusion and Q&A. Key takeaways I would like to share. Artificial intelligence is an essential pillar for ESG, risk management, and compliance. So, regulation like AI Act and Happy Code of the Conduct are shaping the market. Companies that adopt a proactive AI governance will be better positioned for the future. And for the end, my face for you reflection. The future of ESG risk management and compliance is not just about adopting AI. This is essential. This is the future. It's very important. It's about shaping AI responsibility. The companies that embrace ethical, transparent, and accountable AI today will be the leaders of tomorrow. You'll be the leaders of tomorrow. This is my reflections for today. Thank you for this opportunity. I would like